What's going on, everybody? We're back at it another Wednesday, another night, another stream. Really fast, before I forget, we are streaming through several platforms. We're streaming through YouTube and Facebook for now. I am working on other things. So, we're going to be talking some upgrades. We're going to be talking about how am I doing in my vape journey. We are going to talk about some news on this whole Apple drama. And we're going to be talking about whatever the fuck we want. So, for the next 30 minutes, you're mine. So, let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about my journey on vaping. How am I doing with it? Am I doing great or am I doing decent? That is the biggest question. So, I am doing great, I think. I've been staying away from cigarettes and stuff a while. There are times that I still want it. I'm not going to sit there and bullshit you guys. There are some times that I said, damn, I wish I had my goddamn cigarettes. I wish I had my vape. I wish I had this stuff. But some things I don't. I'm past the 30-day mark now. I'm beyond that. I am at the point that I made it a habit not to smoke. I made it a habit not to vape. Addiction is a very nasty disease. Because I don't want to be game over for me. Because vaping could be a factor. What is making me motivated? Obviously, I told you guys, is my mother's number one. I'm not going to lie to you. This is one of the biggest ones. The other ones are me not want to huff and puffing all the time. That's one big one. It's a lot more things. I want to be around for a long time. I want to be the person who can do things. There's factors. Disclosure. My whole family smokes. My whole family, from my dad, from my aunt, from my aunt to my cousins, everybody that I know in my family smoked. We all struggled with this at one point. And it's hard. I'm not going to sit there and tell you guys it's easy. It's very, very, very hard. And it's something that I don't want on anybody. It's a very hard thing to do. It's something that I don't want nobody to go through either. If I can share my journey, why not, right? It's just one of those things that, why not, right? It's going to be a difficult one for me. And I'm working on it. It's going to be a difficult one. And I will always continue working on it for me. And I'm working on it to the end. It's going to be a difficult one. And I will always continue. I'm not going to stop for me. I'm never going to stop for me. And I'm working on it to the end. I don't know how to give up. And I will always continue. I'm never going to stop for me. Let's talk about some other journey stuff to the end. I don't know how to give up. Let's get some drama. I will always continue for me. I'm never going to stop for me. Let's talk about some other journey stuff to the end. I don't know how to give up. Like I said last week, I will always continue. If you jump on, I'm never going to confirm tomorrow. Let's talk about some other information to the end. I don't know how to give up. Like I said last week, I will always in the United States right now. Confirm tomorrow. Let's talk about some other information to the end. I don't know how to give up. Like I said last week, I will in the United States. So confirm tomorrow. Let's talk about some other information. I don't know how to give up. Like I said last week, All right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from All right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from eat. If that's what you. All right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from I know I'm no Canadian, but you know. If that's what you. All right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from I know I'm no Canadian, but you know. If that's what you. All right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from I know I'm no Canadian, but you know. All right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Pacific from so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, so the big time will be all right, Stacey, you gotta be more Mike, Can you guys hear me better now? I think I fixed the problem. When I talk to CQ, I'm gonna fix all these problems. I swear to God, I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, let's see. How's that? Is there a fucking echo? What the fuck, man? Okay, better, but I still have. Okay, I hear an echo on my end. Do you guys hear an echo on your end? Better, 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 but I'm not. It's not clear. Hmm. No echo. Okay, that's a plus. Let me do one more thing, and we'll continue the show. All right. As I was saying before, so this company that Apple was trying to work with, they were trying to make a collage or team up with the heart monitor and auction and all this stuff. They did not work out. Apple just took the technology anyway and did it. Apple is known to do that. So Apple also is known to just write a big fat check and kind of like sweep it under the rug. But this time it didn't work like that. That's the only bad part about it. The only person who can actually reverse it is the president. I don't think he's gonna go that far with this time because this is breaking like you know uh, copyrights, not patents, stuff like that. I'm not sure exact words, but here's a catch 22. Mike's too low now. How's that? I gave myself an echo again. Fuck. Just give me a second to figure this out, and I'll be back on. All right, how's that sound? I swear to God, I feel I have the worst luck. What comes to stream, this stuff does not want to agree with me at all. I thought, I have a big mouth. I don't know when to shut up. All right, I'm gonna take these off because they're just annoying the shit at this point. So hopefully you guys can hear me without an echo. There's always something with this damn thing. There's always something. So let's get back to what I was saying. So we all know Apple was forced to put the USB-C by the UN. So here's the catch. Now they're forcing them to put a what's called side download. Side downloads are other stuff that you can download. There is not through Apple. Apple, I believe, gets 30% cut of anything you used to do in the Apple Store. Anything. So if you do side loading, they don't get a connection. They a little kickback, the 30%. So Apple's going to lose a lot of money that way. One. Two, I feel like the UN is trying to make Apple more into an Android phone than anything. And I feel, excuse me, I feel that it's going to be an Android phone eventually at some point. So there's a couple of things might happen here. I think. Yeah, they might ban them out of the United States completely. So they're going to have to fix their problems because Apple has legal problems before and they always came back. Excuse me a second. You always have to stay hydrated, guys. So that's one. I don't think that is going to get to that extreme, but I do feel this is going to get to the point that Apple's going to get, a red flag and alarms going to go off big time. And if those alarms go off, yeah, I feel that they're going to have to go a certain direction with their brand. It's going to be more like an Android brand. Still going to be like an Apple, but a Apple Android version of an Apple, if that makes sense. I feel like that's the direction that they're going to be forced to go to with the UN coming at them like left and right now, or making it mandatory. If they say we're not making this phone for Europe, they're going to lose a huge chunk of money, and they're not going to do that either. There's question marks here. This is going to happen next. I'm interested in what's going to happen in the next couple months because their next big reveal is every quarter they reveal some new tech is coming out, and I love tech. Obviously, look what I'm doing. I'm fighting with goddamn tech for a couple weeks gets going before I launch the big live stream in a week. And it better work. I swear to God, I'm gonna have less hair if I don't. Anyway, but the point I'm trying to get to is there's gonna be a lot of question marks coming up. Do I feel Apple's still a good phone? Yeah, it's still a good phone. I have a hate-love relationship with Apple. I'll tell you guys why. And I think I mentioned this once before. You think they're gonna shut down soon? Really? Okay, I like to I'd like to know why you think they're gonna shut down soon. I'm very curious on that. I'm very curious on that. I'd like to hear your theory behind that. So here's my hate love relationship with Apple. So I had the first Apple phone came out, loved it. I switched. I don't remember what reason. It was something else, something stupid. I think it was over contract thing. I was switching companies. They didn't have it. Then eventually they came to Verizon. I got iPhone 4. It was okay. It had problems with it. Then I went to Android, the Razr Max HD, my favorite phone ever made. Continued using that till the wheels fell off, literally. And then I had the Note 3 all the way to 10. 10, I just had issues. Then I went to iPhone 12 Pro Max. Pretty decent phone, 3 years, so it's not a bad time. Now I have the 15 Pro. The one thing I would say about Apple, when you're buying an Apple, you know what you're getting every time. Now when you're buying an Android, it's like buying something new you're not really familiar with. But also, my thing is, when you do buy another Apple from, let's say, the 12... Damn! Nosy? Alexa. She's nosy. Anyway, my thing with Androids are we don't know what we're getting sometimes. Something's different, something new. So we have to keep that in mind. Also, when we do buy stuff like that, is definitely technology. It's the thing what people don't understand when it comes to Apple, mostly. And I know this for a fact, is when you're buying a Apple, you're not only buying a brand, a technology has been around for a while. If the technology has been around for a very long time, let's say, I'm trying to use something a good example here right now. FaceTime. FaceTime has been around for a very long time, way before Apple had it. Apple made it more streamed, very popular. But Apple sits on the technology, sits on it, and sits on it, and sits on it until it's perfect. And then they put it on their, on their phones, computers, or whatever. They do it for a while. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But Samsung is the ones who has little balls to actually experiment with different things. Google too. Google owns all the right to, all the Android systems. It's going to be a roller coaster the next couple of years, seeing next couple of months with our phones, and see what hell's going to happen. If you're in the market for a new phone, I will sit back right now until I watch the ball crumble and see what happens. So, besides that, we're hitting the end of the year. And if you know me by now, I am a person who believes in not end of the year, but now. What do I mean by now? Why do we have to wait till end of the year for a make a change? New life, new me, people say. Or new year, new me. How about new me now? You guys know something about me already. I don't like sitting back and waiting for excuses and waiting for opportunity. I'll do it when the time comes. I'm ready now. I'll do it now. Or I know something's going to take a while for me to get used to making a new habit. For example, going to the gym, quit smoking, quit vaping, whatever. Yeah, that is a... It's not going to happen, okay, a new year starts like, oh, my bad juju went out the window, and it's going to be like a game over thing. No, it doesn't work like that. I think life is not like a video game. You can reset it. And like a lot of other thing. It doesn't work like that. What I do think it does work as you have to work to it. So if you're going to work on something, let's do it now. Let's do it right now. Let's do it today. I challenge everybody to take a 30-minute walk every day. 30 minutes around the block. Then make that in an hour. Start tomorrow. You're going to see a difference in yourself. First thing in the morning, get up. Before you do anything, wash your face, have your coffee, whatever you do, you normally do. Before you do your major project in the morning, like going to the gym or going to work. Gym's not a great example, but going to work or jump on your computer, do something. If you have a dog, great example. Hook up your dog, walk for 30 minutes with him. Do a 50-minute walk one way and 50-minute back. That will be 30 minutes right there. And that's the Spartan mentality. And that's what you need. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. Let's do it. It's not if we need to do this. Simple. One step at a time. One day at a time. Except that, guys. Let's go over a couple of these comments. And here's one comment. So, author is saying Sony's phone are shutting down batteries when low, but shutting down as everything is going on the world. Never know what can happen. Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen, dude. You really seriously. So, funny fact. This is not a proven thing. They're trying to bring back replacement batteries for consumers. So the problem is with some of the phones now, like Apple's very known for this. There's a seal. You cannot open it and replace your battery if the battery goes bad on you for some weird reason. So they're trying to bring back the old school. I don't say disconnect the screen, but a bit easier way to replace the battery, like the old school ways, like the old school dummy phones. If you remember like the Nextels, they were very common for that. I used to carry like 2 or 3 phones with 2 or 3 batteries with me all the times, and I just take the cap, pop it in, put it, go back to it, and have a docking station at home, like a GoPro almost. That's the way they're going with that, Arthur. I'll be honest with you. That is the rumors I'm hearing with the phones. Listen, phones are something that you're committing to a year, 2 years tops, maybe more. When you do that, you need to do your research very well. Apple is a very known good brand. Like, I'm in the ecosystem very well. I have the headphones, I have the watch, and I have the phone. So I'm in the ecosystem pretty good. Now, are more people in the phone, Apple phone versus the other people? Yes. If I look up how many people are into Apple versus Android, it's simple. Here. Apple versus. So, according to this study right now, 3.5 billions Android users, and about 3.1 billion. According to this, is more Android actually, but I don't think that's actually accurate. Let's see this one. I have 59. Okay, this sounds more accurate actually. Yeah, 59. Yeah, I have an Android right now. Android. I switched back after we stopped working. No, I was still at the hospital actually. I think I switched over a little bit after you left the hospital. That's why. You never saw that. So according to the study right now, it's done recent actually. Wow. 57.93% said they're using a Android over an Apple. 70.29% globally are using Androids right now. That's interesting. I thought it was the other way around. Wow. I'm a little surprised. Let me see if I can think of any more into. Yeah, it's saying the same numbers all across the board. So iOS is about 58% right now, according to last November study. And see, they're not all of them are kind of different, huh? So iOS is 58%, Android is 41%, and you got some stragglers like 32 and all that stuff. That is interesting. So I'm gonna try to bring two people on next week. Next Wednesday, I have this little debate between them because I know one is a big Android user and the other one is a big Apple user, and I want them to duke it out on live. I want to see who can do it. It also gives us a chance to play with settings of guessing, bringing the guests on. So I don't know if I can bring them on or not because it is the beginning of the year and that's a tough one. Not maybe a week after that, I would definitely bring them on. So I'm actually very fascinated with this. I think I might change the show from Journey to Quit Vaping to Journey of the Phones. So except that end of the year. Anybody? Okay, Andrew. Arthur says, "Does it matter what phone you have or the servers you have?" Yes, it does. It does matter a little bit. Okay, so Androids can do a lot more than iPhones. They're more freebies, I call it. Meaning like a computer, you can do whatever you want, however you want, and how long you want. It's open platform. So you have that way. So with the service now, let's say you have a Verizon versus a T-Mobile. Now, if you talk to me about a year ago, I would say a year ago. No, more than that. 2 years ago, I would with you go to Verizon is best a company, yada. But I want you, customer service fucking sucks. Now the service sucks. It's horrible. I was sitting next to somebody who had T-Mobile, and I disclose I'm a T-Mobile customer now. Sitting next to somebody who had T-Mobile, and I had zero service, and they sit there and say we are the number one provider in the United States. If you remember, the only service we used to get back in the kitchen, back in the hospital we worked at, was Verizon because they had a contract with Verizon. That's why they had to, and we had no choice. AT&T will work a little bit, but Verizon was the only one who really worked. T-Mobile, forget it. You will never have service in there. So it does have matter. Two things. So what kind of phone you have, it doesn't matter. Is because it depends what you're comfortable with, bro. What are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with a lock system like iPhone, iOS, and you don't have to worry about X, Y, and Z? Or are you more comfortable with something that is more freebie? Or, meaning, like you are able to do a lot more. Like I remember, I would be able to do a lot of shit with my with my Android, uh, with my Samsung. I love my Samsung. I miss it sometimes, but I know I'm gonna miss my iPhone too. Maybe I should get both. Just like for the fuck with it. And you can compare Apple versus do the grooming reviews version of Apple versus Androids. Maybe or should I? That is the question that I'm not gonna disclose right now. I'm gonna work on that. See what I can do. Thinking. Stacy said the same thing. She switched from T-Mobile. T-Mobile, right? Am I wrong or right? I know you were with AT&T or saying. Was it T-Mobile you told me you went to? I think so. I know a lot of people are with AT&T I will never go to. I'll be straight up with you guys. I cannot stand their customer service. I used to be with them. I hate them with a passion. I don't trust them for it. I can goddamn piss. Not spit, piss. I'm surprised they're still in business after all this time. That is a personal pet peeve of mine. I don't like how they run business. I don't like any of that stuff. It's something that I feel uncomfortable with. AT&T to T-Mobile. See? So here's a question I got for you, author. It depends where you go. Now, we both live in Strasbourg. I bet you $100 live right now. I put my money online. I put my money where my mouth talks. Go to ShopRite in Strasbourg. All right, go to ShopRite and walk in there and try to make a phone call with Verizon. I mean, not outside by the doors. I mean, go in the store. I mean, like in the lobbies. Go down to the meat section or further in, past the bar they're having there. I mean, in there, you're not gonna get any fucking service. And the fucked up part is Verizon's not too far. See, there you go. That's a good example. With Buck Hill, I never had to. I had to just walk in there and just never had a problem with it. Drove over there, these are fine. Never had an issue. When I was out of work for a little bit and I was doing Uber, I was fine with it. And that's the most best part. You always need to have it. Next week, jump on. I'll be back on live. I think next week I'll probably do like a 9:30 show. Because of work schedule. I'll be posting it on. I might post a little early. Have to give you guys a little heads up so we're all the same. Is Stacey? So when you turn off your Wi-Fi, is that when you're actually leaving the house, or is that when you're actually at the house? Or even when let me rephrase that. Are you turning your Wi-Fi when when you're leaving? Is that at home or is it with T-Mobile or AT&T? Which one is it? If I don't work, I'll be able to. Okay, Arthur, weigh me if you don't work. Can you specify that comment? Because I can go either way. I want to see more details with that. I'll wait a couple minutes to answer. Because I know your little thumbs take a little while to type away. And are you talking about when you were still with T-Mobile or AT&T now, Stacey? When you leave the house? Because I use my Wi-Fi when I'm in the house. I'm using it as I'm on streaming now. It's always connected. Because I know. All right, let me know ahead of time, author. What you and I will announce it if it works or not. If I owe you $100 or not. Let me know Wednesday in the afternoon sometime. But back to what I was saying, it really depends what you're more comfortable with what system you're going to use. Like, there are different. So, say says either one works good, but sometimes it couldn't do anything with Wi-Fi with both home is on. So the question I have for you now: have you checked your router lately? Your router might be going, if that's an issue. So you shouldn't have to turn it on and off. It should be automatically. And if you do rent your router from your provider, you should be replacing it for free. It shouldn't be an issue in that. So that's the best thing you could do. So it's odd you have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. I don't have to do that on my phone. So I would look into that a little more. So, any more questions from you guys before we get off and call it a night? Because it was a pretty good stream overall. Have a good night too, brother. It's good having you on, and hopefully you can catch some more. So little updates. So I wait for any more questions coming in the last minute. Up here we go. So Stacey, when you leave the house, it should take a few minutes. Literally, I mean, like maybe a minute or two to disconnect it. I wouldn't turn it off and on because you have a pretty new phone. So I would try not to disconnect or connect and just try to drive away, see what happens first. Because you shouldn't have to do that manually. That's weird. So update again. Obviously, Monday is still gonna be motivation. Tuesday is still gonna be a beard day. Growing back my lovely Greek god beard. Wednesday is still gonna be stream day. Again, the time will be always fluctuating because of my work schedule, guys. So bear with me. Let's see if I can figure that out somehow. Except that Thursday is still gonna be, hair. Yes, I'm growing that hair back. Don't worry. You can already see it's coming back slowly, but it's coming back. And the last one, we are starting a new series. I'm not saying anything. It's gonna be on a Friday. Friday. I'm not doing it live. I'm gonna do it just straight up. I have other commitments. Friday nights can't do it live. But the one I'm very excited to announce on, I'll tell you the exact date when we're launching this. Okay, so the 6th, Saturday, it will be, doesn't work. Okay, let me talk you offline a little bit, Stacey, about that a little more. But on the 6th, it will be our first live stream. We're naming it the Hangout. Operation Hangout. I'm not going to say anything more than that. It's classified for now. Just please tune in. I'm not going to trust me, you won't be disappointed. You'll be very happy. If you can't tune in, at least have it in the background, listen to it, or hit the like button at least for me. Except that, guys, enjoy the rest of the year. I would definitely see you guys next year. And except that, as always, this is, and like always, stay fresh.